ready to question everything? Tune in.
Who's out there?
What's the plan? Are we
pawns
or the kings of the land?
Welcome back to the Robert and Crew Show. As always, I'm your host, Robert.
And I'm your co-host, Crew.
So, tonight, we've got a really weird one, hence Hollyweird, otherwise known as Hollywood, and the elite status of certain people, clones, you name it. Anything Hollywood, we're going to go over in this series. This is part one. Part one. This will probably be a 5 to 6 part series. So buckle up. It's going to get weird.
Not only are we just doing Hollywood side, we're doing the music industry as well as multiple parters.
Yeah, which some of the music industry business also has a big part in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Julie, how are you? So, when you think about Hollywood, Crew, what is the number one thing you think of?
I think about, oh man, there's a lot. One thing that gets me the most is, how certain celebrities look one way when we get first introduced to them, right? And then they come out looking different, like later on throughout the years.
Well, the number one that I always go to is you've got oh my god, the Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen twins.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like, if that's not a psyop, I don't know what is.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you've got people like Celine Dion.
Oh,
have you seen some of the images of Celine Dion after COVID?
Mm-mm.
So, can't really. Have you ever heard of the conspiracy theory behind adrenochrome?
Mm-mm.
So, adrenochrome is basically a substance or a chemical that they get from the adrenaline gland of somebody that is extremely scared or horrified.
Okay.
And remember the movie Monsters Incorporated?
Yeah.
Basically, remember how the monsters go into the rooms and scare the shit out of the kids to harvest their fear?
Yes.
That's adrenochrome.
Okay.
So basically what it is you scare a kid really, really bad, and then you take, allegedly, they drink their blood. Allegedly. I don't know that to be true, but that's been rumor forever. And people looked out and were showing pictures of Celine Dion before COVID and Celine Dion after COVID. And it's crazy. She did not have access to her adrenochrome, allegedly. Also, another one, Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Where he was in the hospital, right? And then supposedly he saw his clone, right? Which
Yeah,
was white version of him. And then he like literally went berserk about it and was yelling at the staff too.
yeah.
And then did you hear about the Jim Carrey one?
So Jim Carrey was in a bunch of controversy here recently because he went to France and he spoke French while accepting some kind of award or speaking for some group or something. And the pictures that came out of Jim Carrey, he looked completely different. But people have pointed out that it's possibly just Botox that Jim Carrey had done. But the weird thing is Jim Carrey hasn't really been acting like himself for the past 8 years, in my personal opinion.
Check this out. So we all know Jim Carrey is originally right-handed, right?
Yeah.
He wrote with his left hand. There's a video proof of it.
Okay. Well, he could be ambidextrous.
And also, if you look at his eye color, right? His original eye color is brown, right?
Right. And now what is green?
Yep.
So, Lizard Man? Obviously, it's just a joke, but Lizard Man, maybe?
That's what they were saying.
So, we've all heard the rumors that Justin Timberlake, Kevin Hart, Eminem, and Britney Spears were all cloned after horrendous car wrecks.
Mm-hmm.
And then those stories mutually disappeared literally hours after they were posted to news websites.
Right. And then don't forget the one where, supposedly Avril Lavigne died, right?
Yeah.
And then they came out with a replacement for her, like a lookalike.
Right. When it comes to celebrities and celebrity lookalikes, why would they have to clone when there's plenty of people around already? Somebody in the world is bound to look exactly like you.
Well, yeah, most definitely. The one that gets me though, right? Okay. This one got me really good the other day. And I was looking through, videos, and it's about Sabrina Carpenter. And supposedly, if you put her picture next to Hillary Clinton,
Who is this?
You can see Sabrina Carpenter as a younger version of Hillary Clinton.
I mean, I guess we'll see when Sabrina Carpenter gets older, right?
Right. And then another one, right? Okay. So this is a big ordeal when it comes to Hollywood. Plastic surgery.
Oh, yeah. All of them do it.
Yeah. So the one thing, though, that gets me really bad about Jenna Ortega.
Jenna, that for those who don't know, that's the girl that plays Wednesday.
Yeah. And she has this youthful, innocent appearance about her before. And then now she looks all gothic and mean and more plastic.
Couldn't that just be from her portraying Wednesday?
No,
I mean, not the plastic surgery, but the goth stuff.
no, not that part. It's more along the lines of you look at her, what her face used to look like to now. It's
Uh-huh.
even with the added makeup, she just looks more demented.
Okay. Like almost soulless.
Yeah.
It's all very interesting. Well, Crew sent some videos over, and we're going to check these out.
Did you watch the Kevin Hart interview? He was interviewing this girl. Forget the name. You can run the clip on it.
I don't know if you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just you've been off. Yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
They're listening. Like, okay, who's listening? Whoever that is, they have a lot of control and they have a lot of power. Did you watch the Kevin Hart?
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Hart's just shushing her while she's trying to talk about elitist people offering her loads of money to do things that she doesn't want to do.
Yeah, and that's
Interesting.
Clarkson of all
Yep.
people. And she's an American Idol winner.
Yep.
And an amazing country artist as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kelly Clarkson back in the day was really cool.
Oh, yeah. And now she's a talk show host.
Yeah. This one's Hollywood's dark secret celebrity trade souls for fame and satanic deals. They all sold their souls and they put it right in our face.
Needless to say, sold my soul.
Sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange. And I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
Why is your hand over your eye?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about? All right, well, I have tickets to see the devil worshiper.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
Needless to say,
In the world we can't see. What do you think Bruce Springsteen meant about that?
He's talking about the devil.
Yeah.
Or ball. Either way.
Neville,
Ball,
same
ball.
person, right?
Yeah. But either way, he's talking about either.
Right.
And you know what's funny? I was on, I don't remember if it was TikTok or Instagram. No, it was Instagram. So I was scrolling through Instagram earlier, right? This was earlier during the day. And I came across a video of Donald Trump and Vladimir kneeling towards Ball and saying, we did the most miraculous thing for you. We killed a bunch of all those students for you. And then Ball goes more with a smile on his face, laughing.
But that's obviously AI generated.
Oh yeah, it was definitely AI generated. But I was like, yeah, that's definitely them. That's definitely whoever made this is making a joke, making it like show that the elitists follow Ball, because it's been proven. Because of the pyramid, you got all these specific people in specific places, and then Ball at the very top.
Right. And then, of course, we've got these weird parties that people keep throwing, like P. Diddy and Epstein and all this weird shit. So this one is a must-watch for everyone. The mystery of strange VIP pizza parties.
one can seem to agree on anything anymore except for two things. Pizza and us. And us.
You don't like cheese pizza?
I do like cheese pizza.
Well, you just said you don't like cheese pizza.
That isn't cheese pizza. I want some from Pizza Hut.
Pizza. All right, he'll like it. You're gonna eat it and you're gonna like it. Now listen.
We've known each other for years. Yeah. You've been to my house. We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza. We do. It's so much fun. Now, someone did.
I should do it more. And Aniston will say to me in the middle of the night, whenever I'm with her, something cool. She'll be like, "You see?" And I'll be like, "No, you're right. This is great. This is great." And then the next morning, she'll text me and say, "I know something. Wednesday night if you want." I'll be like, "Come on, we just did that Saturday thing. We don't have to do too."
She likes to. She's busy all the time. I know she's the greatest host, but
she is a good.
I like I'm going to bed at 9. I can't come over. Your thing starts at 8:30. So
yes, she can handle it. She can handle it. And her parties are incredible at her house too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza.
Wonderful pizza. All right, just y'all are all like, whatever.
What's the pizza? Was it good? What he made the first pizza was better than gluten. They both made. Everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something that he does. 5 different kinds. 5 different kinds or 6 different kinds of pizza. And Clooney's was excellent. Miles. What? One lady was like, "How many cheeses, Jerry?" Jerry's like, 7 different cheeses. 7 different cheeses. People were eating the fucking pizza going crazy. "Oh my God, I taste the cheeses, Jerry. I taste the cheeses." They brought me my piece of pizza. I took a bite. I couldn't fucking believe it. Best pizza I've ever had in my life. Best fucking pizza I've ever had. That's some type of lettuce on it. I've never tasted this shit. Type of white baby's got some type of lettuce on it. Wait till you taste the lettuce. White baby's got some type of lettuce on it. Type of white baby's got some type of lettuce on it.
What did he mean by that?
I don't know.
White baby got lettuce on it. I don't know, dude. Kevin Hart is super weird. I'm not a fan of Kevin Hart. You know, he was super close with P. Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Which I always wonder, how did Kevin Hart, Leonardo DiCaprio, and all these other people not get caught up or arrested?
Right. And then you want to know something even weirder? He started hanging out with Dwayne Johnson a lot more.
Yeah, Dwayne The Rock.
Mm-hmm. Which I think Dwayne humbled him a little bit.
Maybe. This person says she was invited to a secret A-list celebrity party. Let's see what she has to say.
I was invited to a secret A-list celebrities party. There were things that happened at this party that were so dark and so terrible that I have been afraid to talk about it until now. This goes back to almost 7 years ago when I was living in Los Angeles. I was a struggling actress. I was working as a dancer at a club. At this club, we would get a lot of clients that were high profile, especially in the music industry. On one particular evening, we had this very high profile client come in and request a VIP room. I knew that this celebrity had a preference for Latino women, so when he requested a VIP room and actually requested me, I was quite surprised. And I went to do this VIP with a friend of mine that I worked with, did our job, did our thing, and at the end, he gave us a business card with his assistant's name and phone number and told us to call that number if we wanted to party after work that night. I was so not down for this, but the friend that I had done the VIP with told me that she's gone to one of his parties before and that he lives in the Hollywood Hills, has a really cool house. I was really apprehensive on going, but the night was really slow at the club that evening, so we actually ended up leaving early. I was not much of a party person or a drinker, so I was completely out of my element. I was literally there just for the bag. The party at this guy's house was not big or anything. I would say that there were probably less than 30 people in attendance, smoking and doing things that you can imagine are happening at celebrity celebrity parties. But one thing I couldn't help but notice is that amongst the people were some very, very young looking girls. At one point I look at my friend and I tell her, hey, like, don't some of these people look like way too young? That is when my friend told me that the assistant at the club wasn't the A-list celebrity's assistant. This guy is a recruiter. Basically what this person does is goes to parties, goes to clubs, and finds girls in a certain age range. And these young girls were being recruited to go to these parties, not to just hang out, but to engage in other unlawful things. This is actually not something completely uncommon in Los Angeles. In fact, this is something that happens a lot. I was completely dumbfounded and disgusted. I ended up leaving that night and never looking back on the whole entire situation until years later, I saw in a tabloid an accusation being made against this very celebrity of doing exactly what I just told you guys.
I wonder who that celebrity is. And how come you aren't saying his name if you're telling the truth?
Right.
Because if you're telling the truth, you won't get sued.
Well,
You're
I
saying
mean,
the
if
real.
you think about it, some people don't want to like throw names out there.
Right. I mean, that's true.
The one guy I showed you a while back, like months, like I think sometime around last year, that one dude showing the actual letter and telling his story about the party him and his friend went to, and he's no longer friends with that one guy.
Yeah. This one's about the Kardashian.
The Kardashian family should have never let this leak because we've now discovered what they've been hiding for 20 years. Have you ever noticed that every time a man gets involved with a Kardashian, he ends up in a bad place? Even though there have been many, and we've forgotten most of them, they all seem to fall apart. Just think about Kanye West. He's the perfect example. And don't forget the transformation of the mother, who went from this to this. I still can't believe it. Then there's all the symbolism. For example, in this image, people found a hidden message formed by the way their arms are positioned. There was also Kendall Jenner, who made the mistake of posting one of her tattoos, which looks exactly like Baphomet on her finger. We've also seen the one eye symbolism with Khloe. And then there are these photos where all the Kardashian sisters are doing the same pose, hiding even more meaning. The strangest thing about this family is a rumor that has been circulating for years, claiming that Kim channels certain deceased celebrities. The proof people point to is that moment when she receives a lock of Marilyn Monroe's hair.
Yeah, this is either really cool or a little strange, but that's who you're doing business with, right? So,
what is this?
that was Marilyn's hair. So.
You can clone her.
That's awesome.
You can clone her.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I'm literally going to do some crazy voodoo shit that I going to do some crazy voodoo shit that and I channel her.
But we also shouldn't forget that in American Horror Story, she literally played a Hollywood witch trying to take Emma Roberts' baby to gain fame, almost as if reality was being hidden inside fiction. Watch this clip.
He's 3/4 me. I mean, we used to have to use magic to make our creatures. The IVF produces miracles these days.
You're a monster.
Oh no, babe. I'm so much worse.
What the hell? Like, Kris Jenner, like, I didn't realize that she went from, like, ugly ass bitch to hot.
And here, people are speculating she might be reptilian.
I mean, maybe. She went from, like, really ugly to really good looking. How do you do that?
I've been asking myself that for years.
That one's, like, extremely, like, that one's extreme. I didn't realize how much Kris Jenner changed.
And then if you think about Khloe Kardashian, right?
Mm-hmm.
She used to be really thick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like big and thick. And then she lost all that weight and became very skinny.
Yep. But weight loss is pretty new or pretty normal.
Jonah Hill even did it.
Yeah.
Conspiracy claims that in the 1800s, an ancestor of the Kardashians sold her soul to 4 witches. What she would get for this was that every woman in the bloodline would have a successful career with money, fame, and beauty. But in return, there's a catch. The catch is that any man involved in their life would be cursed. So the reason this conspiracy has gone so viral is because look at the pattern in the men that has been involved with the Kardashians. Example 1, Lamar Odom, extremely successful basketball player, struggled with addiction and overdoses. Rob Kardashian went from being a model and an actor to dealing with depression and barely being able to leave his house. Scott Disick, a successful businessman, now battling with alcoholism and depression. Travis Scott, hugely successful rapper, faced one of the most disastrous concerts in history with Astroworld, and many people passed away. Okay, Bruce Jenner transitioned to Caitlyn but was ostracized by her entire community. Then we have Kanye West. Unfortunately, we all know what happened with Kanye West. Conspiracy claims that in the 1800s, an ancestor of the...
Do we, though? Do we all know what happened to Kanye?
Not really.
Ye is, he's something else.
Yeah.
This is what you were talking about with Jenna Ortega.
Mm-hmm.
They got her. They got her. What is going on in Hollywood, you guys? There is something. Something isn't right. This is Jenna Ortega. Do any of you remember what Jenna Ortega used to look like? That's the Jenna Ortega I remember. How do you go from this to this? What is going on? It is giving us vibes. It is giving body snatcher vibes. It's giving darkness vibes. This is who I used to be vibes, and this is who I am now vibes. But why? Do you guys know how to read energies? Do you see how much different the energy is in this picture? How light, how look at her eyes. There's life in the eyes to nothing. I feel darkness when I see this, sadness.
I mean,
The
it
light in her
would
eyes
help
is
if you
gone.
didn't have that stupid
The eyes
freaking
always give it
12/16
away,
2025
But
breaking
something
news
very,
there.
very sinister is happening in this industry. It's got to be more than plastic surgery because it's given a whole different aura now. They got her. They got her. They got her. What is going on in
So, I
Hollywood,
mean,
you guys?
she
There is
does appear to
something.
look a little
Something
like maybe...
isn't- They got her. They got her.
I don't know.
What is going on in Hollywood, you guys?
This one's hard. I feel like Jenna Ortega was still growing up when we all knew her, you know, and people grow older, their body changes, facial structure can get a little weird sometimes with age. It all depends. But the change is quite drastic.
Well, from what it said through the news wise, Hollywood News is she had surgery, but that's neither here nor hearsay. So we won't know the truth.
Well, that's still a big fudging deal.
Yeah.
So what are your feelings on the women of Hollywood?
I think a lot of them should stick to how they look, right?
You said what?
They should stay how they look and not just change just because they're told to.
Do they really change because they're told to, though?
There's been a lot. Okay, well, if you think about it, hear me out on this, okay? Hollywood wants people to look a certain way, act a certain way, and talk a certain way. Be a certain way.
Right. It's very fake.
Yeah, and it gets out of hand to the point where, you know, we lose a lot of our favorites to the worst. And then a lot of them end up either waking up, like Eminem for one, or, you know, freaking a lot of them will speak out and say, hey, this is what's going on. And then either they go into hiding because they don't want to get taken or caught up in this stuff, or they end up accepting and change.
Did you ever hear the story about Shirley Temple?
Mm-mm.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up real quick because this is pretty crazy. Oh, I can't play that one. That one's got fucking music. God damn it.
Can't you mute it?
No, because we need to hear what she says. So, here you go.
Fox. I went to MGM for one picture. Thank goodness, only one. And when I got there with my mother, we were separated. She went into the office of Louis B. Mayer, and I went into the office of Arthur Freed. He was going to talk to me about a movie he wanted to put me in. I'm 12 years old, you know. And I thought he was a producer, but instead he was an exhibitor. And I'd never seen anyone naked before, except myself. So I had no clue about what was happening. So it struck me so funny, I laughed at him. And I laughed uproariously. I had tears, you know, and he got infuriated. And he said, out, 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 go.
Did
So
you
I
tell your mother?
Well, I went down. I was very quiet. I went down and met her in the lobby of the administration building. She came up very quietly from Louis B. Mayer's office, and we walked hand in hand silently to the car, which was unusual. We got in the car driving home. I said, Mom, you won't believe what happened to me. And I told her what happened, and she got kind of quiet. She said, well, you don't know what happened to me. Louis B. Mayer wasn't as bad as Freed was to me. He came on to my mother. And so we both decided that we didn't like MGM much. It was better at Fox. When I left Fox, I went to MGM for one picture, thank goodness.
That is disturbing. Two grown adults, one tried to screw her mother, and the other tried to, I don't know, he at least exposed himself to Shirley as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's disgusting.
Mhm.
And that's PDF file kind of shit. And yeah, it's been happening for a long time, guys. For a long time. Shirley Temple is no longer here. She is passed on. But if that happened when she was 12, how long has this really been going on?
Right.
Probably since the start of Hollywood.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that Shirley Temple story, man?
It makes sense. I mean, it's been like you said, and I agree. It's been going on for a long time, and I think it's completely uncalled for.
I think it's hilarious how she said that she laughed and laughed and laughed and had tears coming down her face, and he got pissed off and was like, "No, you need to leave," because she was laughing about how weird he looked naked.
Mhm. That's funny.
Well, dude, she saved herself from SA by laughing at her attacker.
Mhm.
When does that ever happen?
Right.
Crazy. I'm glad nothing disgusting happened to her in that scenario, but I bet it did. I bet disturbing things happened to quite a few of those kids in Hollywood.
Right. Well, I mean, think about it. Freaking Drake Bell.
Yeah. Drake Bell and Dan Snyder, or not Dan Snyder. My God, what's his name? Peck, the Brian Peck.
Yeah.
Ugh, disgusting person. Now, this one, I've actually seen this whole interview with Tucker Carlson and Roseanne Barr. And guys, when Roseanne Barr said this, by the way, she said this before the Epstein files got released. She said this before the files got released. So just know that Roseanne knows what she's talking about.
They eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do it. They say you can't wake people up that are pretending to be asleep, but I pray to God, please wake up even those who are pretending to be asleep with the irrefutable truth of what the worst people on this planet are really up to. They are really up to that. They're doing it. There are so many victims. How they eat babies. That is not bullshit.
She was spot on. Spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Elmsta, I love Roseanne. Nothing will ever change that. I don't care that she did blackface. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Roseanne is the GOAT.
Oh, yeah. And
I will
here's
listen to Roseanne's podcast till the day I die, and I'll rewatch episodes of Roseanne till the day I die. She should have been president. I would have loved if Roseanne had been president. But then again, you know, Roseanne could have been the first original Donald Trump. She ran under socialist, though. She was a socialist, or I think that's what she claimed to run under. A lot of people forget that Roseanne Barr ran for president, and the big controversy wasn't her doing blackface. The big controversy was she got on Twitter when she was on Ambien, and she made a remark apparently that sounded extremely racist, and she got called out for it, and they canceled her. I have never heard anything about Roseanne doing blackface, but maybe she did. I honestly, I could care less. I think the blackface, white face on black people, blackface on white people is so stupid to get upset about, because unless people are purposefully doing it and running around and harassing people with blackface on, it's really not that big of a deal. Look at Drewski. He just went out and did whiteface and whitefaced Erica Kirk. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. It used to be, that shit used to be a big part of comedy. A big part of comedy. And just so everybody knows, bodybuilders paint their bodies black sometimes. They used to paint their whole bodies black, but then the freaking Bodybuilder Association told them they could no longer paint their faces black because it was racist. Do you want to know why they used to paint their bodies black?
Enlighten me.
Because it enhanced the muscle definition of the bodybuilder. Like via, like, you could see the tones and the muscles and everything a lot better if the body was black. That is why they did it. But it's just, it's so stupid to me. Like, I don't understand why everybody gets upset about that. I grew up Jewish, and I got the amount of anti-Semitic crap that happened to me, and nobody ever stood up for me. Nobody ever did anything to me. It was all funny. Ha ha ha. It's happening to the Jewish kid. Ha 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 ha. Right? That's literally what they did to me. So I can't get behind that. And Roseanne and anybody else that's ever done anything stupid like that, I mean, as if you've apologized or you told the world it was for comedy, or you said, hey, I shouldn't have done that, I was fucking retarded, then, you know, you should be good. As if you apologize and you truly mean it and you're not doing that shit no more, then I don't care. I don't have a problem with it. What's your feelings, crew, on Roseanne and how she just basically from the end of her career till now has been just letting all of the elites go under fire? She's basically been not not targeting certain people, but targeting the elite class, which is even crazier because she is one of them. She is one of the elite class. So
Well, it's a whistleblower kind of situation. She's handling it pretty well. She's doing what she thinks is right, and it's needed. It's 100% needed. And,
oh yeah.
you know,
Between her, Tucker, Candace, Joe, and a couple other people that podcast quite frequently, I'd have to say her, Roseanne, and Joe are probably the ones that are most down to earth with the podcasting. I'll say that Roseanne loses her mind sometimes. She is old, and by the way, she has CTE. She got hit by a car when she was a lot younger. So her brain is all screwed up. She actually said she wasn't funny until she got CTE. Did you know that? She said she was not funny. She had humor was not her thing until she got hit by that car. And I've actually heard that about other people too, where you get a crazy injury happens to you and then you end up gaining some kind of skill from it, as crazy as that is. And Roseanne's was comedy. All right, let's go to your next video. This one's called The Dark Side of Hollywood and Satanic Rituals.
Hollywood doesn't worship fame, it worships power. And power always demands a satanic ritual. Behind the red carpets and award speeches are doors that only open after midnight. Whispered invitations, inverted symbols, and silence enforced through fear. Some stars rise overnight, others disappear after saying yes. The price isn't money, it's obedience, secrecy, and satanic loyalty. Tonight, we step inside the circle Hollywood prays you never see. The penthouse is silent, bathed in that weird cold blue light you only see in movies or high-end Beverly Hills morgues. It's 2 a.m. A young actress is pacing, clutching a glass of bourbon like a lifeline. Suddenly, dry paper-on-wood scratches echo from the front door. She freezes. Sliding across the floor is a matte black envelope. No stamp, no return address. Just a heavy wax seal embossed with a skeletal goat's head. Her hands are shaking as she breaks it. The card inside is thick, textured like old parchment. It reads, "Join the circle. Midnight. Wear your sins." GPS coordinates. The symbol she has seen in her nightmares. Fast forward, she's driving through a fog so thick it feels like the Hollywood Hills are trying to swallow her car. She reaches a gated estate that opens silently. Masked figures in heavy velvet robes beckon her toward a basement. A low, guttural chant vibrates in her very teeth. A cloaked hand offers her a silver dagger. She catches her reflection in a blood-red mirror, but it's not her anymore. Her shadow has horns. She screams, and then total darkness. Welcome back to the dark side of the algorithm. Look, we've all seen the Illuminati-confirmed memes, but the reality of Hollywood's occult underbelly is way weirder than a triangle on a dollar bill. We're talking about the whispered invite. In Tinseltown, you don't find the occult finds you once your name is big enough to be worth something. Let's start with a classic, because honestly, the 1960s were a wild time for people who loved the dark arts. Meet Jane Mansfield. She was the blonde bombshell with a genius-level IQ, but behind the scenes, she was allegedly deep in a pact with Anton LaVey, the guy who literally founded the Church of Satan. This wasn't just a PR stunt. Mansfield was a frequent guest at his black house, participating in full-blown rituals. But here's the chilling part. After her horrific car crash in 1967, Anton LaVey didn't offer condolences. Instead, he basically dropped the ultimate "I told you so," claiming the curse took her because she broke her vow of secrecy. LaVey was once recorded saying, "Stars come begging for power, but the devil always collects." Sammy Davis Jr. was the coolest man in the Rat Pack. In 1968, Sammy didn't just join the church, he became an ordained warlock. Can you imagine being at a party with Frank Sinatra, and suddenly Sammy starts hosting black mass mixers in the guest house? Even the Candyman eventually hit a limit though. He later admitted the lifestyle opened doors he couldn't close, describing a heavy dark energy that followed him until he distanced himself from the group. It makes you wonder what he saw behind those closed doors that scared a man who had everything. And if you think it was just actors getting mixed up with this darkness, let's talk about Hedy Lamarr. The woman was a literal genius who invented the tech that paved the way for your Wi-Fi. But industry whispers from the wartime era suggest she was involved in seances with rocket scientists who were obsessed with the teachings of Aleister Crowley. There are rumors that some of those groundbreaking patents weren't just flashes of genius. They were part of blood oaths for technological inspiration. Science and Satan? It's a more common crossover than you'd think. Fast forward to the modern era, and the invites have gone high-tech. We're hearing anonymous leaks about the order parties in the hills, where A-listers sign NDAs, not in ink, but in what's speculated to be biomatter. Yeah, use your imagination there. These aren't just
Blood.
parties. They are energy exchanges. You've seen the photos, stars looking totally drained, glitching on camera, or wearing bizarre ritualistic jewelry. Is it just high fashion? Or are they signaling to the circle that they're still playing the game? There's a specific kind of hollow look that comes over a star after they've been in the industry for a decade. Some call it burnout. Others call it the collection. The envelope is open, and you've stepped through the gates. But icons aren't just made by invitations. They're crafted by masters of the frame. Behind every star is a director holding a wand, and our next stop is the man who turned the cinema screen into a literal portal for the abyss. The theater is a rotting corpse of a building, tucked away in a corner of Los Angeles that the sun forgot to touch. An underground filmmaker, a young twitchy man, slips through a side door at dusk. The air inside is thick with the smell of vinegar and old dust. He sets up a projector, the machine humming like a swarm of angry hornets. As the film reels spin, flickering light hits the screen, revealing hooded figures in a trance, their voices chanting in a language that sounds like grinding stones. Suddenly the film catches. It bubbles, melts, and the flames on the screen lick upward to form a perfect glowing pentagram. Instead of running, the filmmaker kneels down, clasping his hands in prayer, tears in his eyes. He whispers to the empty room. The demons are finally awake. On the screen, the dying embers of the film strip take the shape of Satan. Let's talk about Kenneth Anger, the man who basically invented the dark aesthetic of Hollywood. This guy wasn't just a director, he was a self-proclaimed magus, a sorcerer. To Anger, a movie camera wasn't a tool for entertainment. It was a literal wand used to cast spells on the audience. And honestly, looking at some of his work, he might have been onto something. Take his 1969 film, Invocation of My Demon Brother. This isn't something you'd find on a Friday night watch list with popcorn. It featured actual Aleister Crowley rituals performed by Navy sailors, who looked like they were in a genuine terrifying trance. The legend goes that Anger didn't just stage these scenes. He sourced footage from a cursed military ritual that had allegedly gone horribly wrong. He wanted that raw, jagged energy on screen. He wanted the viewer to feel like they were participating in something they shouldn't be seeing. Then there's Lucifer Rising. This is where the Hollywood curse starts to look less like a coincidence and more like a pattern. The film starred Marion Faithfull as Lilith, the primordial demon queen. During the shoot, Faithfull reportedly overdosed, later claiming that she had been targeted by the entities Anger had summoned on set. It gets darker. Anger had a massive falling out with director Donald Cammell, and in true occult fashion, he allegedly placed a formal hex on him. Years later, Cammell ended his own life in a way so bizarre and ritualistic that even the investigators were shaken. Anger once said in an interview, "My films are spells cast on the audience." Think about that next time you're binge-watching a dark series. Are you watching a story, or are you part of a ritual? There are long-standing whispers about Anger's ties to Scientology's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, back in the pre-Hollywood days. Rumor has it there are thelemic sex magic tapes buried in high-security vaults that would make the modern internet collapse. We're talking about the foundations of Tinseltown being built on the teachings of Crowley, a man who called himself the Beast 666. And we can't talk about Anger without mentioning Bobby Beausoleil. Bobby was a musician who worked on Anger's soundtracks, but you might know him better as a member of the Manson family. He claimed the music he composed for Anger included Whispers from Hell, recorded during his time in the occult underground. Even after he was locked up for life, the darkness didn't stop. From behind bars, he continued to release eerie, ritualistic soundtracks that became the sonic Bible for occult communes across the globe. He didn't need to be free to spread the infection. But here's the obscure gem for the real conspiracy hunters: Hollywood Babylon 2. This was Anger's legendary tell-all book, but the unpublished drafts that leaked into the deep web are way more intense than the version you can buy at a bookstore. These drafts allegedly name huge 50s stars, names your grandparents loved, as participants in moonchild breeding rituals. We're talking about the literal creation of industry icons through occult means. It makes you look at the golden age of Hollywood a little differently, doesn't it? It wasn't just glitz and glamour, it was a carefully constructed altar. The frantic pace of the edits, the red-tinted filters of those old films, the jumpy nervous energy of the stars. It's all part of the Magus's design. Anger didn't want to make you famous. He wanted to make you a vessel. So the next time you see a flickering light in an old theater or a movie that feels a little too real, just remember, some directors aren't looking for an Oscar. They're looking for a sacrifice. The spells have been cast, and the film is still smoldering in the projector. But what happens when the magic leaves the basement and infects the entire production? We're moving from the Magus's studio to the cursed sets where the props started breathing and the stars began to fall. Thunder rattles the rafters of a massive soundstage, but it's not coming from the speakers. A director, sweating under the harsh studio lights, screams action as a group of actors in heavy robes circle a stone altar. It's supposed to be a prop, just plywood and spray paint, but the air starts to taste like ozone and copper. Without a breeze, the heavy ceremonial candles ignite simultaneously, their flames turning a jagged, unnatural violet. Shadows on the back wall begin to detach from the actors, twisting into long, clawed shapes that dance independently of the light. Suddenly, an extra in the background collapses, seizing and foaming at the mouth, his eyes rolling back to show nothing but a terrifying milky white. The crew freezes, whispering that the curse is finally here. Just as the lead actress reaches for the prop dagger, a bolt of lightning tears through the roof, striking the main camera. The expensive glass lens shatters into 1,000 pieces, and for a split second, the shards form the perfect image of a reptilian eye staring back at the survivors. Now it's time to talk about hexed sets and doomed stars. This isn't just bad luck or the heat of the moment. This is what happens when Hollywood tries to play with real fire and ends up burning the whole house down. Let's start with the big one. Rosemary's Baby. Roman Polanski didn't just want a scary movie. He wanted authenticity. He allegedly consulted real-life practitioners of the dark arts to make sure the rituals on screen were accurate. Well, be careful what you wish for. After the film dropped, the producer William Castle was hit with a debilitating kidney stone that he claimed was shaped like a pentagram. I mean, talk about a painful way to get a message from the universe. And we all know the tragic, horrific fate of Polanski's wife Sharon Tate at the hands of the Manson family. It's like the movie invited a darkness that refused to leave once the cameras stopped rolling. Then we have The Omen. This set was so cursed it honestly sounds like a bad creepypasta, but it's all documented. The director Richard Donner had his plane literally struck by lightning. Then the star Gregory Peck's son took his own life just days before filming a scene involving, you guessed it, a suicide. Donner famously said, "Something unholy followed us." They were making a movie about the Antichrist, and it seems the subject matter took it personally, and we can't skip the poltergeist curse. The production used real human skeletons because apparently plastic ones were too expensive. The result? Actress Dominique Dunn was tragically killed by her ex shortly after the release. And young Heather O'Rourke died mysteriously at just 12 years old. It's like the film opened a revolving door to the other side. But let's look at some of the obscure stuff the mainstream media doesn't like to touch. Take the Twilight Zone movie from 1983. A horrific helicopter crash killed 3 actors on set. The conspiracy? Rumors suggest director John Landis had hired a voodoo consultant to bring a raw primal energy to the production. People whisper that the accident wasn't just a mechanical failure, but a literal price paid for that energy. Then there's The Crow. Brandon Lee, son of the legendary Bruce Lee, was killed by a prop gun that somehow had a real fragment lodged in it. This happened right as he was finishing a film about a soul returning from the dead. People point back to Bruce Lee's dragon curse, claiming that the family was being hunted by occult enemies they'd offended decades prior. It's like a generational debt that the industry keeps collecting. Even the music world isn't safe. Look at Kurt Cobain. The In Utero album art was packed with ritualistic imagery and anatomical dolls that looked suspiciously like offerings. After his death, heavy whispers started circulating in the underground that label executives had essentially sacrificed his image for a massive spike in sales. They say the industry loves a dead legend more than a living artist because a ghost can't argue with a contract. The patterns are everywhere, whether it's accidental fires, mysterious illnesses, or stars vanishing into thin air. These sets seem to be magnets for something we don't understand. Are these just coincidences? Or is there a specific frequency that these films tap into? A frequency that attracts things from the shadows. The sets are ashes, and the accidents have been filed away in studio vaults. But the survivors didn't just walk away. They started talking in hushed tones and frantic leaks. It's time to move past the rumors of the dead and listen to the terrifying whispers of the living.
All right, crew. It's getting pretty late, and I got to get up to get the kid to a doctor's appointment. So I'm going to have to get off here. But before we do that, this video pointed out multiple different people and crazy things that happened to them.
Yep.
Heather O'Rourke from the Poltergeist, go look into that, because that is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life.
Same.
Other than that, we're going to have to end this tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with part 2 and so forth. Like I said, guys, this is probably going to be a 5 or 6 part series. Before we get out of here, crew, what is this?
This is the Robert and Crew Show Venmo link, where if you'd like to, not have to, donate so that way we can go get stuff for the podcast, or so we can go travel for the podcast. Anything and everything for this Venmo link is only for the podcast.
Yep, and always, our favorite form of currency is share the show. Share the show with anybody you know. If you think they like stuff about conspiracies, weather phenomena, Hollywood elite, weird people, weird subjects, anything, even interviews, share the show. Mm-hmm. Other than that, much love. Peace out from the Robert and Crew Show.